Okay, this is Ben Doughty for Boxing Evolution TV with the driving force and mogul behind Boxing Evolution TV, Matthew Flave, alternately known as Titus Flavius.
That's
on social media.
How some people know me on Facebook.
Certainly. So Matt, you are live streaming this promotion on August the 2nd, Bill Call of Duty, headline by Mark Prince versus Savinas. Tell me a little bit more about this new media and this new way of broadcasting fights, which you've been spearheading with Boxing Evolution TV.
Well, changes in modern technology at the moment, especially with things such as 4G, mobile broadband and things such as that, and the way people actually access media. People watch a lot of things on their phones or iPads or computers, and the need to have a TV with Sky Internet is no longer such a big case, and the costs of doing a live stream are so much more minimal compared to the costs of doing, say, a Sky broadcast involving satellites and stuff like that, I think it just opens up a massive platform for getting, in particular, the small hall boxing shows, a bit like this, out there to a worldwide audience.
As far as I recall, your initial foray into this particular method of broadcast was the essentially unlicensed affair between Danny Williams and Dominic Negus. Am I correct?
Yeah, you're correct.
And can I ask initially, I mean, obviously that was something that some of the purists didn't agree with. I must admit I didn't really openly loud the fight myself. I had a few issues with it, but nonetheless it was what it was, and it was something that you very ably got involved with. Can I ask how that initial venture went and what it how much kind of focus it gave you to continue in the future?
That initial venture, from my point of view, was a great event to be involved with. You know, Danny Williams is a really well-known former professional boxer. Dom Negus, you know, I've seen him on Danny Dollar's Deadliest Men and that, and I really had a great time being involved with both of them. And I think from what I'm doing point of view, which is doing pay-per-view events and live stream and stuff like that, it was a great testing ground and sounding board to understand about how all things work and stuff like that. I actually thought there would be a little bit more interest in it than there was, whether that's due to the fact that, like you said, there was people that I think were against the fight, so it was kind of, I mean, that's fair enough, and I think quite a lot of people in the boxing community kind of ignored it and didn't want to promote it because they weren't behind it, but at the same time, you know, I still thought it would have had a bit more publicity than it did, but it also taught me a lot about how we were promoting the event and what to do better for next time and that kind of stuff. So yeah, no, it was a great event to be involved with, and it was a great launch for us. So
we were talking a little while earlier about the new Fight Pass initiative that Matchroom are heading up. How important do you think this method of broadcast, talking about the way that social media and technology and smartphones have revolutionised the way we communicate and the way we watch stuff, how much reverberation, how great a reverberation do you think this method of broadcast will have on the fight game as a whole?
I think it's going to change everything completely. I think the way that fighters interact with one another now on Twitter and Facebook, and you know, fights get created out of that now. But you see them arguing, fans clutch onto it, and next thing you know, the fight's being made. So there's that aspect of it. How boxing promoters go about promoting their events, and potentially the money they can now make from this potential, you know, this type of streaming. We're doing it as a pay-per-view event. If you capture the public's mind, say perhaps a bit like with the Froch Groves fight, you know, you're looking at people making a lot of money in a better way, I think. So
you mentioned about the way fighters communicate and often argue with each other principally over Twitter these days. We spoke about purists and earlier and their views on certain things. Are you gleefully enjoying all this new media and the kind of freedom of trash talk and profanity that is now completely permitted, or is there anything in you which slightly frowns and yearns for a more decent, civilised era of Harry Carpenter and the BBC?
Well, I do work with several controversial characters, you know, and I think swearing, stuff like that, you know, insulting one another is alright, but you've got to kind of have an air of kind of caution about how you do it. You know, I do advise them and say, look, don't go too derogatory about the other person. You know, keep any insults you say not about their family members. You know, just general kind of
above the belt.
Yeah, and try not to be too much swearing. Try and use intelligence rather than, you know, nastiness to try and win your argument or whatever it is. But yeah.
Okay, so on the August the 2nd. We've got the Mark Prince headline in it. I mean, can I just ask you generally about the show itself and how much you're looking forward to it, and how you would sell it to people out there who might be thinking about either streaming or buying a ticket and being there in the flesh?
Well, basically, the brilliant thing about streaming as well is that the level of interactivity you can have with the social media. You can have Facebook comments integrated into it. We had the Twitter feed integrated last time with the Goodwin stream that we did. So we can actually bring up people's Twitter comments in real time and show them on the stream and get people's thoughts, get them to say who they thought they won the round. There's all kinds of stuff like that that we're going to be doing. So if you're a fan of Michael George and you want, it's a great way to interact with the fight and get across what you're thinking. Also, the good thing about it as well is we're doing a multi-camera stream with it as well. We've done single camera stream in the testing, like with the Goodwin shows that we've done before, but for this one we've got a proper multi-camera setup coming in, so you're going to get really good coverage of the action along with the ability to integrate with it socially. So.
You and Boxing Evolution TV are actually a very valid option for small hall promoters who don't have TV money, aren't you?
I think so, definitely 100%. The cost of doing a proper production that's at the quality for Sky, something like that, you're looking at about 18 grand, and for small hall boxing promoters, they've got to cover that money with sponsorship. And for a lot of them, that's not an option, So the production costs are a lot smaller, the broadcast costs, you haven't got satellites you've got to worry about or anything like that. You can stream for as long as you want, you can have as many people tune in. You're only limited by the boxers that are fighting on your show, really, and what they can attract. So.
I think it's going to be very interesting to observe how this develops in the next 3 to 5 years, and we're all looking forward to August the 2nd. Cheers.
Thank you very much, Ben. Cheers.